Hi everyone, my name is Francois and today I want to show you how to remove backgrounds in your videos without the need for tedious masking or rotoscoping. This will allow you to create some cool effects like this, or even like this. So if you're ready to learn some great techniques, then grab your snacks, get comfortable, and let's get cracking. For this video I want to create one of those really cool titles that appears behind a subject. I did a lot of these in the recent tutorial and I think they're really useful to keep your videos visually interesting. And it was all done with a very simple 4-step process. Masking, tracking, exporting, and having fun. Let's start with masking. The first thing you're going to do is duplicate the section you want to add the title to, and with your new clip selected, go to the color tab by clicking here. If you get here and it's the wrong clip that's selected, you can always open the timeline, there's a button for it at the top right corner, and now you can select the correct clip. Down here you're going to see a bunch of options, and the one we're interested in is the Magic Mask tab, the one that looks like a frame with a person in it. Once you've done that, you see your timeline down here, which will allow us to choose which frame we want Resolve to use as a reference. In the top right corner, in very small, you'll notice two icons, one for Object Mask and one for Person Mask. Strangely enough, I always find that the Object Mask works better with people than the Person Mask does, but your mileage may vary. Down here I'm going to change the quality to better. You can leave it at faster if your computer is struggling, it'll still work very well. Now make sure you've got the qualifier with the plus selected, and simply drag a line going across the person you want to cut out. You'll see a stroke layer appearing in your timeline. Also, if you want to see the mask that has been created, you can toggle the mask visibility on and off with this button. You can add several additive strokes like the one we've just created here, and you can also create subtractive strokes when you select the qualifier that has the minus icon. This will help Resolve determine how to fine-tune the selection. Personally, I'm happy with this because it's only for a quick title effect, but feel free to experiment with your footage. Right, so that's masking done, let's move on to tracking. At this point, I'm ready to track the mask to follow the motions of my body and my hands, so I can either track forward with this icon, then track backwards with this one, or you can do both consecutively by clicking the track forward and backward button. If your tracking isn't going quite as you want it to, you can always interrupt it with the pause button here. That will allow you to make changes with the plus and minus tool until you're happy with it. As you can see, it's done a very good job at following my hands and arms around, and I'm particularly impressed with the fact that despite it being quite a busy background, Resolve still managed to detect what was me and what was the trees and the rest of the forest. Now is also a good time to adjust some of these settings if needs be. What I usually find myself doing for these types of titles is just a little bit of blur to soften those hard edges over here. That's tracking done, let's move on to the next key point, exporting. Before we can do anything, we need to tell Resolve that whatever has not been selected needs to be transparent. And how do we do that? It's very simple. In order for the alpha channel, that's the transparency information, to be outputted, we just need to right-click in our node tree, select Add Alpha Output, and plug the alpha channel of that node to the alpha output of the output node. If you go back to the Edit tab without doing that, you won't get any result, so do make sure to connect the alpha channel of your nodes to the alpha output. Now that you're done masking, tracking, and exporting the alpha channel, it's time to have some fun. Simply add whatever title you like and make sure it's on top of the original layer, but underneath the one you've masked. You can also desaturate the background if you want to isolate your subject, you can change the background altogether, there's just so much you can do. By the way, if so far you didn't mind my accent, please give this video a like as it really helps the channel get recommended to more people. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video.